everybody, today I decided to make a inspired meal, and when I say that I mean I saw this in V for Vendetta. If you haven't seen it, I say it's a good film noir, but they called it an Eggy in a basket. And it's always weird when one of those movies, you're just watching it and something in the movie, a food item or something, just pops at you and you go, I can make that, or damn, that sounds good, and then you try to recreate it. So I actually figured out how, and it's very simple. It's very similar to doing a fried egg, only there are a few twists. And one of those twists is, well, make sure you have some good browned butter. And you want that in your pan getting ready, because this is going to go really quick. Now, my husband actually enjoys Eggy in the basket. It's one of his favorites. And what you want to do is find a cookie cutter if you don't have one. I have a stemless wine goblet here. You want to position it into the bread as best you can. And then just press down. Oh, and that's what I was trying to avoid. His bread's softer than mine, so it breaks easier. But once you get that cut out, go ahead and take one side, only one side, because you have butter in the pan. And you're going to butter that side to help get it nice and brown. And I know it looks like I have a lot. My butter is still kind of hard. It's pretty cold here. So I'm actually going to scrape off most of that and use it on mine. Alright, and what you're going to need basically is just 2 eggs in this case. 1 egg for each piece of bread. And just set those up on the side here. And while I'm waiting for the butter to melt, I'm going to go ahead and space mine out. Now, the trick is to position the glass or your cutter so that it doesn't break the crust. If you have a good, nice, steady piece of bread, a little firm, denser, you can see the difference. This one is kind of flimsy. I can see the light through it, and I can't see it through this one. It does help when you're making this if you have a denser, more healthy bread, such as a whole wheat or something along those lines. Now, my husband doesn't like the taste of wheat bread, so I have to get him honey wheat. But once you get that butter melted down and going, what you do, and I'll show you here in just one moment because it's almost melted, you are going to go ahead and put the unbuttered side down of your bread, slice of bread, into the pan. It's almost ready. And like I said, you want this to be brown butter. One of the reasons is because it's going to go ahead and stick. And according to the actual movie that I stole this from, the whole key and point to this is that it's made with butter, and you haven't had butter in a long time. So I thought this was great quarantine food because, you know, hey, we're not really experiencing wealth in that aspect. So once you place that down, you got your pan all nice and hot, just go ahead and crack the egg straight into that mess. Now, I like salt and pepper on mine. Honey, do you want any salt and pepper on yours or no?
A little bit.
A little bit of salt and pepper. Now, since you're doing a sunny side up, well, not a sunny side up, but since you are making a fried egg here, you can't really season it once it's fully cooked. So while it's still cooking, go ahead and sprinkle your salt and pepper directly on the raw pot stuff that's still there. And you don't need a lot, just a little. There we go. And I'm just going to let that sit there. You're going to let it cook until you can see that most of the white on the outside of the yolk is gotten firm, and it's actually very easy to tell. If you'll see, not so firm right now, kind of still liquidy, but as it firms up, you're going to see it get white and puffy. When that happens, that's when it's ready to flip.
Temperature.
Make sure you have it on a medium heat. That way you can keep your temperature even and you don't risk burning your bread, but it allows the butter to go ahead and melt and not scald. The thing you don't want on this is for the butter to be so hot that it sounds like a hot, like you're adding water or anything to it when you put the stuff down. You don't want to really hear sizzle on this. Not when you put the bread in, at least. As you can see, it's pretty much white. That means most of the egg has been cooked. And this is where it may be a little tricky. The reason you want to wait is so you can make that scoop with the spatula. Then flip it over. Now, at this point, it really depends on how well you want your yolk cooked, because it's pretty much all the way cooked through at this point as far as the white is concerned. So some people would go ahead and remove it at this point after they've sealed the bottom and kind of scalded it, because they like a really runny yolk. He does not. He likes a soft yolk. So again, just like in our fried egg, what you do is right here where the yolk is predominant, right there, just poke it. And if it's really, really liquidy still under that, you're going to be able to feel it. Well-cooked yolk is going to kind of feel like, dried glue or a rubber band to touch. A somewhat runny yolk is still going to have the feeling of kind of like a water balloon before it's popped. And this is ready. And as you can see, the yolk is pretty much completely cooked through. And there he goes.
Thank you, love.
You're welcome. Alright, so I'm going to make mine, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. And maybe, you never know, eggy in a basket may be a new thing. You can also do this with French toast. Just cut out your holes beforehand, and once you put it on the pan, drop your egg in. Alright, have a lovely day.
And adding cheese is a wonderful thing.
He loves his cheese. Alright, bye.